what is the one thing that nobody can take from you? Your identity, right? Well, I think that actually that's not totally true. And I'm gonna explain to you how film defies the construction of identity through storytelling. Spoiler alert for the following movies. Okay, first of all, the skin that I live in. In this movie, Robert, the character played by Antonio Banderas, forces Vicente to a sex change. And through a series of medical procedures, Vicente ends up turning into Ver. So identity as a body is absolutely transformed and he's not really the owner of it anymore, even though he himself tries to define himself as a man, but that's not what people recognize when they see him. Number two, Oldboy. Oldboy here, it's not a physical change, it's a storytelling change. Oldboy is the story of Odaesu, who is being imprisoned in a hotel room during 15 years. And after 15 years, he is freed. And when he's freed, he's manipulated into falling in love with a younger woman, much younger than him. And what happens is that we end up realizing that the woman that he has fell in love with is his daughter. And he is now not able to recognize himself as the good person or as the not villain in this story because he has been manipulated and the story that he thought he was living in is actually a different one. His identity is now being destroyed because new information has come into the frame and the story changed the meaning of who he is. Number three, Nocturnal Animals. Again, there's no physical transformation in Nocturnal Animals, it's a storytelling device. What is happening is that this is the story of Susan, and she is a married woman, a very successful art dealer, and one day she receives a manuscript of a novel that was written by her ex-husband from 20 years ago. With the manuscript, there's a note saying, Susan, when you left me, you finally left me with inspiration enough to write a book. And when she starts reading the book, she realizes that it is the story of a man whose wife and daughter were violently taken from him. They were assassinated. And there are many parallels on the story of the man in the book who lost his family and how Susan left Edward back in the days they were married. So here, the identity of Susan is destroyed because now she's no longer able to tell herself the story the way she had been telling it her whole life. Now she realizes that in the eyes of Edward, and in a very clear way, she is the one who took the family of a man. And that is profoundly existentialist and transforms the way that she sees herself, and she cannot go back anymore. So what am I saying? Am I saying that everything is very dark, that we are doomed, and that we cannot define our own identity? Absolutely not. I think it's much more nuanced than that. And there's one very good movie, very optimistic, that says the opposite. Well, that teaches you how to control your identity. And this one is Truman Show. The Truman Show shows us by the end of the movie that even though Truman has been having an existential crisis because he don't know who he is after discovering that he's only a character in a TV show, and he decides that he's at the center of it. He realizes, I tell the story I want to tell, and by going out of script, he now controls the narrative, the story that he wants to tell, and that's how he persists being himself. There you go. So you tell me what you think. Do you think that identity is just your body, just your name, or is it an element within a bigger context? I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more like this. And if I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.